Howdy. My name is Cloudy. Welcome back to the channel. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't check out the last video, make sure you checking out my past videos. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I don't be posting back to back is because I be trying to give some time for my videos to, you know, circulate around the tube. You feel me? But today, we got a video from the Cosmic Wonder. There's still a lot of Marvel things going on. Like a new X-Men movie script reportedly leaked. And it's coming before Avengers Secret Wars?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. Right now we have what is being called an accurate, quotes there for accurate, and detailed story outline for Jake Schreier's X-Men movie. And no, it's not too early for an outline story.
Bro, they already working on X-Men stuff, bro. This how I know they real excited for the X-Men stuff, bro. That means they finna have some top tier scenes in these X-Men movies and stuff, bro. Cause bro, I've been hearing about the X-Men saga since before they even announced Avengers movies, bro. The last two Avengers movies, I've been hearing about the X-Men saga. And it makes me think like, bro, we done with the Avengers stuff, bro. You ready for the X-Men to come out at this point? They probably got like 100 scripts for the X-Men.
I know that Marvel Studios has already announced this new X-Men movie. Michael Leslie is the writer. Jake Schreier is the official director for the film. They've been working on this actually for quite some time now. And we've been hearing a lot from the Russo brothers and from Kevin Feige that Secret Wars is actually going to be a beginning. Yes, it's an end, but they've also been saying Avengers Endgame was an ending. Secret Wars is a new beginning. And we know that the new beginning is a new universe. Kevin Feige has described it as a reset of the main timeline. And with that reset comes new X-Men. And we've heard that they're going to cast mostly smaller actors for the X-Men role, which I think...
Bro, they be watching my video, bro. In my past videos when we was talking about the MCU being reset, bro, I was telling y'all, bro, I was like, bro, they probably gonna hire actors that aren't so big, you know what I'm saying? And then Marvel can kind of make them big. You feel me? Like, kind of like for the Patriots, Tom Brady, he made Julian Edelman and them stars, you feel me? Because he was throwing them the ball. It's kind of like that, you feel me? The MCU is quarterback, and they trying to get some underdog wide receivers and running backs right now, bro. And they trying to make a dream team out of that, bro. They trying to become the Patriots, I'm telling you, bro. And it will work, bro. I honestly think it will work because these young actors, they're going to be more passionate about it, et cetera, et cetera. And they most likely won't have more options outside of the deal that Marvel will be giving. Because you know when Marvel give out deals, bro, they're not giving no 1 year deal type of thing. They give you a deal for like 4 or 5 years because they want you to play a character for a certain amount of time, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to keep switching up a character's face, you feel me? So them doing this, bro, they'll most likely save money and they'll get a lot of passionate actors with less egos, you know what I'm saying? Especially if Marvel might be one of their first big projects. It could work out.
It's a good idea. But today we have what seems to be a story outline for what the X-Men movie could be. And keep in mind, the X-Men movie is going to release pretty much right after Secret Wars. Marvel Studios has a few dates listed that come very quickly after Secret Wars. Now, with all supposed detailed story outlines or plot links that are posted online, take this with a grain of salt. Even though it's being called accurate, we don't know if this is the actual story for X-Men, but it might be. And regardless, it's a lot of fun to go over. So reportedly, this was first posted on 4chan, and the person who posted it says, according to a few scoopers, a story outline that recently got posted for Schreier's upcoming X-Men movie is circulating online, and it seems rather accurate. This is the only one that I and a few others think it could be, so take it with a grain of salt, as always. But it says the mutants will be introduced into the MCU through, you guessed it, the multiverse. A large number of mutants will migrate to we knew that already, bro, after their own homeworld was destroyed following the events of Doomsday/Secret Wars. They will be coming from Universe 617, the neighbors of the MCU's 616.
Have we ever seen anything in the 617 universe before? Y'all let me know in the comments right now.
A large portion of these mutants will just be very unknown background characters with very random powers, especially created for the MCU. And a select few will be known X-Men, such as Magneto and Professor...
I guarantee you some of the characters in Marvel Rivals, bro, are some of the X-Men. Guarantee you, bro.
Who will be friends. Rogue, Cyclops, Storm, Jubilee, and so on while some fan favorites such as Wolverine won't be around at this point in time. So right away on this point, it did sound like Marvel Studios was trying to keep...
See, this is what I thought the X-Men was going to be, or at least one of the groups. Or this could be like a group that go out on the... this could be the group that go out on the gruesome missions. You know what I'm saying? Like, the X-Men can have like subset groups. Like, this is the group that do the spy stuff. This is the group that do recon. This is the group that do the flying and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I would think the X-Men will have something set up like that, just based off the fact that it's so many variants now. You know what I mean? And then we know there's a lot of characters that are mutants, and I expect that they're gonna start popping up once the mutant saga start. And they probably are gonna do something like that, to where certain teams gonna have certain jobs and certain roles in the world to help out, you know what I mean? But I thought this right here was gonna be one of the X-Men teams, bro. And I thought we was gonna get a Gambit movie. I thought we was gonna get a Blade movie too. But it seemed like we've been lied to, bro.
Hugh Jackman's Wolverine around for a good amount of time, till he's 90. But who knows what Marvel has planned for him and Deadpool. Perhaps their movies are just going to be kind of one-off meta movies that go around the new multiverse and aren't exactly acknowledged by the others or the MCU as a whole. We'll have to wait and see on that. But this says that Professor X, using Cerebro, would have chosen Earth 616 specifically after seeing how they celebrate heroes and those who are different, which is a very nice thought and definitely aligns with what Professor X and Magneto would want. But it continues to say, however, despite Professor X's optimism, when these mutants arrive in the MCU 616, there will be a lot of backlash from the rest of society. People and governments will begin to argue that Professor X's optimism, when these mutants arrive in the MCU 616, there will be a lot of backlash from the rest of society. People and government.
So is Earth 616 gonna become, bro? Because I've been watching The Flash, bro, and this right here, I feel like this could be compared to The Flash, bro. You remember how Barry was like, if y'all know, you know what I'm saying, if y'all know what the DC Flash is, the real Flash. We're not talking about the movie. We talk about the TV show with Grant Gustin, and you know, but. Is Earth 616 gonna become Prime Earth, to where all the universes, timelines, and stuff all go into one, and it's just that universe now? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, I'm guessing all the other planets gonna either, like, all the habitable planets or all the other Earths are probably gonna get destroyed, and Earth 616 is probably gonna be the last one standing, and every single timeline and everybody from the other Earths and stuff is going to end up there, and that's going to become Prime Earth, just like it did on The Flash, bro. Bro, I think that's what they plan on doing right now, bro.
Will begin to argue that they don't belong here. There are too many people with powers, and that Earth can't really handle a population increase, especially after already offering refuge to the Asgardians, which is a narrative point that Kevin Feige really wanted to use to reflect modern politics and the current migration crisis. Now, right away as I'm reading this, it definitely sounds like this movie actually could take place before Secret Wars. It almost sounds like it would have to, if this is truly what they were trying to do. I'm not sure this would really work post Secret Wars. In fact, I don't really think that the multiverse is going to play too big of a role post Secret Wars. I think we're going to focus just on one new reset universe. But we did hear a rumor recently that the X-Men movie might come out before Secret Wars. And again, since Kevin Feige and the Russo brothers are saying that this is basically a new beginning in Secret Wars, perhaps they would want the X-Men to come out before then. However, I'm not sure I prefer that, and I don't know what everyone's going to think by the end of this. It continues and says, this is something that will even somewhat divide established MCU characters, but one character who will be on the side of the mutants and be at the center of this film will be Miss Marvel. In the film, she will make herself known to the mutants and become an ally, having been able to relate to them with the fact that her parents migrated to the US in search for a better life, which as a result of...
Bro, I've been seeing memes and stuff about her character and her background story and how it's like, it's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I haven't seen the show, the Miss Marvel show, but I have seen like clips and stuff like that, and she low-key is kind of hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
And her family have received discrimination. Now, as I said above, at this
But I
point,
wonder,
Magneto
how is she
and
gonna
Professor
be
X will be friends. However, whilst Professor X will be a lot more sympathetic of the humans who want them gone, Magneto will be a lot more angry and fearful, having just come from a universe where mutants were treated like dirt and discriminated against. So whilst Professor X believes that they should simply be patient and respectful towards this new Earth, believing they will eventually come to the right decision, whether they should be allowed to stay or not, Magneto will begin to form plans with another small band of mutants as a way to turn the tide. And I mean, right here is kind of one of the main stories of the X-Men.
Okay, so the X-Men, so it seems like the X-Men saga is going to be brewing up the not the rivalry, but it's going to be brewing up the 1v1 between Magneto and Professor X, bro. And I'm excited to see that. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to see the two OGs finally squabble. You know what I mean?
Professor X and Magneto about how they should fit in with the world, how they should fit in with society, their difference in beliefs there. I mean, that's pretty much classic X-Men. It's classic Professor X and Magneto. And Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel Studios, has actually said before that they do want to explore this. They do want to go into the story about how the X-Men don't necessarily fit into society and how a lot of society is scared of them. But it continues and says, at the center of this plan will be Miss Marvel, who Magneto will discover has a mutant gene that was unlocked by the cosmic radiation given off by her bangles. And I mean, this part right here checks out.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, this confused me, bro. What's the difference between mutants and the people in the Avengers? What's the difference? Same thing in the Flash. Like, what's the difference between mutants and metahumans? Like, why they make it seem like, bro, they all got powers, bro. They the same. They may be like different species or whatever, but bro, like, don't give them a different name. Like, one got like real powers and one got AI powers or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that, bro.
Marvel already made it known that's what they are doing with Miss Marvel. At the end of Miss Marvel, they said that she has a mutation. And when they said that, they played the X-Men theme song. I mean, plus, not to mention, she has actually been rewritten in the comics, and the actress who plays Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani, has helped a lot with that. So it's very obvious this is the route that they are going down. But it has actually been rewritten in the comics, and Miss Marvel. At the end of Miss Marvel, they said that she has a mutation. And when they said that, they played the X-Men theme song. Plus, not to mention, she has actually been rewritten in the comics, and the actress who plays Miss Marvel, Iman Vellani, has helped a lot with that. So it's very obvious this is the route that they are going down. But it continues and says, up until this point, Professor X and Magneto presume that humans of the 616 universe don't possess mutant genes. Magneto will also discover, after coming into possession of government files, that a similar thing happened with the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, who gained their powers after being exposed to the power of the Mind Stone.
So this whole entire, so that's what tied the X-Men to the Avengers the entire time, was Wanda. Because Wanda is considered a mutant. So, like, okay, that's confusing, bro. So are like mutants, metahumans, like, is there like a power difference? Like, which one is stronger? And, you know, kind of like werewolves. Like, you know, you got the pure werewolves, the pure bloods, you know, ones that were born werewolves, and you got the ones that were bitten into it. And then you got the ones that were like probably scratched into it. Like, I guess that's kind of different, you know, I don't know. But is it like that? Like, there's a different power scaling, bro? Because I don't get that. What would the Fantastic Four people be? What would they be considered? Are they considered mutants, metahumans, superhumans? Like, what are they considered? You know what I mean? Like, that's the confusion for me, bro. Maybe I'm just going too deep into it. Maybe it's just the names that certain universes give people with powers. You know what I'm saying? Like 616 universe, they just call these people superhumans, and then the 618 they call them metahuman. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just the names. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just the names they give them. Maybe it ain't no difference. But it's just the way they talk about it make it seem like there is a difference. That's what make me mad, because I'm like, bro, if there really is a difference, like, y'all gotta explain this a little bit more. And if they did, bro, y'all gotta let me know in the comments, bro. Maybe I missed it.
Film's climax. This will lead Magneto using Miss Marvel and her bangles to trigger the dormant mutant gene for everyone who possesses it on planet Earth. Magneto will see this as a way to unite the refugees of Earth 617 and the inhabitants of Earth 616. This will also later lead to the introduction of 616 variants of certain mutants such as Wolverine. In the backdrop of this, Professor X and his team of mutants will be wishing to prove their value to Earth 616 by completing missions, offering knowledge, and even helping certain Avengers, such as Sam Wilson's Captain America, on their own missions. And that.
So Sam Wilson is going to be okay. Now I got another question. Is there going to be a lot of people from the I was going to call it the Marvel saga. It's the same, from like the Avengers saga. You know what I mean? Are a lot of those characters going to pop up in the mutant saga, like Sam Wilson? I could see him popping up because he's human. You know what I'm saying? So he could pop up in this. He's human and he fights with people that aren't human. So I can see him popping up in other sagas, especially if a lot of these characters are in the same city or state that a lot of the stuff from the last saga happened. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make sense that they wouldn't see some of these characters, at least from my perspective. But y'all might understand it a little bit better because I know y'all be reading the comics. I don't read comics, you know what I'm saying? So I wonder, like, is it going to be more than just Sam Wilson popping up in the Mutant Saga? Is it going to be like Iron Man maybe or Venom or something like that? You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people from the last saga that I would consider mutants. Y'all got to, bro, what's the difference?
That is what it says. And I got to say, after reading the entire thing, I do not think this works after Secret Wars. I think the only way that this would work is if it happens before and the multiverse is still intact, at least for the most part. Because if it does take place before, this actually really does fit very well within the multiversal storyline. The multiverse existing, some people becoming aware that the multiverse exists and other Earths exist, and then going from one universe to the other. Plus, not to mention, by the rules established in Multiverse of Madness, this should not be okay. A bunch of people going from one universe.
They stealing a little sauce from the show The Flash, bro. They taking a little sauce from DC, and I'm perfectly fine with that if they can really do it well.
To another and staying there based on the rules described already, that should destabilize and confuse that universe, leading to an incursion, which again, if this comes in the Multiverse Saga, that makes sense. But if it comes after Secret Wars, where the multiverse is essentially gone and the main universe has reset, I don't think this works at all. So here's what I actually think about this. I think this might have been a previous script that Marvel was working on before. We had heard that for well over a year, probably 2 to even 3 years at this point in time, Marvel Studios was interviewing a bunch of different writers for the new X-Men film, and they were going over a lot of different stories that could happen. And while they were doing this, they were deep in the multiverse saga. So I think that's where this story, the outline of this story, has come from. And I also don't think that this story, if it were the X-Men's true story, wouldn't be leaked this far in advance. Of course, as we got closer to it, we'd get some leaks. We always do. But this is really far out. So what this most likely is a previous story that Marvel was working on before they went to a new writer and before they got a director. Because again, it makes sense in the multiverse saga. It plays off a lot of things in the multiverse saga. It plays off Kamala Khan. It plays off the rules of the multiverse. If the X-Men came to this universe, then an incursion would most likely happen, but that was going to happen.
And I just realized, bro, me saying that might make people not like it. You know what I'm saying? Saying that the mutant saga is kind of giving Flash vibes. Because, bro, I'm not lying, bro. Like, I'm currently watching The Flash right now, bro. I'm on season 8. You feel me? So I'm like, I'm up on game on what's happening in that show freshly. You know what I mean? And it's really giving the Flash vibes, bro, with the Earth Prime type stuff, how everybody's going to come into it. It's really giving the Flash vibes, bro. It is. And me personally, I know a lot of people don't like the Flash after a certain season, but I still do, bro. I think the storyline is actually pretty good. Like, I understand that certain characters and stuff and how they fight them is kind of like, come on, bro. Like, bro is supposed to be the top tier speedster, and like, you could show us a little more. But I think Marvel probably sees a way they can use it and do it better. You know, Marvel might do this a little better. You know, and if the mutant saga is going to consist of characters from the previous phase, you know what I'm saying, the previous saga, it honestly could be good, but it could be bad because the way they got to make the story is going to be a little weird. You know what I mean? And then the people from the lab, they're not mutants. That's something like, bro, that's why I feel like they should have never really distinguished that. They should just be like, bro, they all got powers, bro. They the same people. It's just some are stronger than the others.